Canelo fights the absolute correct fight that he can fight, the only correct fight that he can fight, he does have a chance, and I think he could be victorious. If he doesn't, if he doesn't fight the one way that he can only fight to win it, Terrence Crawford has 6 ways he can win it. And my money will go on the man who has 6 ways to win it over the man who has one way of winning it. I don't think Terrence did with much of anything because Terrence did like I did as a heavyweight. He bulked up to the weight. He been dealing with super middles and light heavyweights in training. If you can deal with them in training, you can deal with them in the fight. So the weight should not even be an issue.
Roy Jones Jr. has just shared his shocking insights on the upcoming clash between Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Roy Jones Jr. said that facing a bigger fighter like Canelo is challenging for Crawford, but a great small fighter can beat a good big fighter.
A good big guy does beat a good bad guy, but a great little guy, does beat a great small guy, but a great small guy beats a good big guy. We might be talking about a great small guy here. We'll find out in this fight, but we might be talking about, which I think we already are, but I think we're not talking about a good small guy. I think we're talking about a great small guy. You understand me? So this great small guy, like you saw with me, a great small guy can do anything.
Jones added he respects both fighters, but leans toward Crawford due to his hunger and motivation. He said if Canelo fights perfectly, it will be hard, but any misstep could give Crawford the advantage.
I'm not saying I'm leaning toward him. I love both guys. Both guys are great fighters. Well, I can't say I'm leaning. I am leaning toward Crawford. I am. And not because Canelo is not a great fighter, but because I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows about Canelo. You feel me? So I don't know if Canelo's hungry. I know Bud is hungry. Bud stays hungry. I don't know if Canelo's hungry. Bud has never got the recognition for what he deserves like Canelo has. You understand me? So Bud is still hungry for that recognition. When you're hungry like that, a determined man, it's very hard to detour. And like I said, because of Canelo's size and because of all his accolades, if he went out and fought the perfect fight, it's going to be hard for Bud to beat him. But if he don't, it's going to be a problem.
On the other hand, Abel Sanchez said Crawford is talented, but Canelo's size and experience make him tough to beat.
I honestly think that Canelo's too big. Terrence is a superb fighter. He's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just think that moving up in weight without having fights to merit that, I think it's the wrong move. But he couldn't handle a 154-pounder the way that he was handling everybody else before. And Madrimov is not Canelo. Canelo's been used to fighting all the bigger guys and has done very well with the bigger guys. Nobody's hurt him. I mean, he's fought the biggest punch. He fought Gennady. Come on, he fought Gennady twice, really the good fights, and then Bivol hit him with everything and couldn't hurt him. So how's Terrence gonna do that? I don't think he can. I see Canelo going away maybe in a 16-12, 17-13 kind of fight. The first 3 or 4 rounds will be difficult for Canelo, or a little harder for Canelo because of the speed. But once he just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, the first 3 or 4 rounds where Kell was fast. But Terrence is going to expose himself when he throws his punches, and Canelo's going to finally get this timing down, and I think we'll be able to control the fight.
Famous actor Denzel Washington said he admires both fighters, calling Crawford one of the greatest. He noted Canelo is bigger and said he could not predict a winner.
I'll say this, and I love Crawford. Canelo's a bigger man. He ain't never been hit by a man like this, but Crawford's a great, great fighter. One of the greatest I've ever seen. I love Crawford. I try to be like him. I love Canelo. I can't call it. I won't call it.
However, Roy Jones Jr. said Crawford's weight is not a problem, since he has bulked up and trained with heavier fighters. He believes Crawford can handle the challenge in the fight.
I don't think Terrence did with much of anything because Terrence did like I did as a heavyweight. He bulked up to the weight. He been dealing with super middles and light heavyweights in training. If you can deal with them in training, you can deal with them in the fight. So the weight should not even be an issue.
Jones also said Canelo has one way to win, while Crawford has multiple options. He would bet on Crawford because of the greater chance to succeed.
If Canelo fights the absolute correct fight that he can fight, the only correct fight that he can fight, he does have a chance, and I think he could be victorious. If he doesn't fight the one way that he can only fight to win it, Terrence Crawford has 6 ways he can win it. And my money will go on the man who has 6 ways to win it over the man who has one way of winning.
Moreover, Chris Algieri said Crawford winning makes the fight exciting, but still slightly favors Canelo. He called it a classic big man versus small man matchup.
So, but I think it's good. I think it makes the fight more enticing if a lot of people are thinking that Crawford can win. And don't get me wrong, Crawford can absolutely win the fight. I'm not saying he can't win the fight. But in terms of, how I see it, it hasn't really changed my thoughts because I know better than to just trust that last thing I saw because there's a lot of confounding factors.
So you feel Canelo is going to win the fight?
I leaned Canelo, yeah.
Yeah.
I always have. I've always leaned Canelo. Just it's the good big man versus the good small man.
Algieri noted Canelo's speed, ring control, and pressure, but said Crawford's intelligence and timing give him a chance to win.
Yes. Yeah. But Canelo's not slow. It's not like Canelo is actually a smaller man who's come up to fight a lot of bigger men. Because his hand speed, the guys can't deal with him. So his ability to cut off the ring, the fact that he imposes his will, he puts a lot of mental pressure on his opponents without even doing a whole lot. He doesn't throw a ton of punches. He throws less now than ever, but he's there. He's got this frame and his physique. And I've sparred Canelo. The guy's a tank. Like he's very physical in the ring without doing a whole lot, just because of his presence. So I'm curious to see how Terrence, how Bud can deal with that. But dude, kind of like I said about Manny, if anybody can do it, man, it's Bud. He's so smart. The guy's like an alien in there. The way he sees things, the way he pulls the trigger, the game. He's also a game plan guy. They make game plans. They don't just show up and fight. They know what they're doing, how they're doing it, or what round they're doing it in. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting, intriguing fight.
Amir Khan said Crawford may be stronger than Canelo, who is easier to hit. He questioned why the pound-for-pound number one would risk fighting him.
He might be even stronger than Canelo. He might be stronger than Canelo. He might pack the weight on well. That he might do really well in there. So look,
You fought them both. Like, what are the differences between them? Obviously, it's way.
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit. Very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. Yeah. So really, that's the difference. And they both hit hard. Yeah. Because and you can see the strength. When I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound number one in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Ariel Helwani said Crawford is likely to win by decision due to motivation and skill, noting Canelo hasn't looked great recently. He called Crawford one of the most underrated fighters of the last decade.
Yeah, I think Terrence Crawford wins.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Prime athlete, baby. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Wins. I think there's more at stake for him. I think he's more motivated. I think that a lot is being made of the weight. And I think people are forgetting who Terrence Crawford is.
Oh, he's the real hell yeah.
Switch hitter, unbelievable. When he is at his best, he didn't look great in his last fight at 154 against Madrimov. This is a huge jump up. I recognize that. I don't think Canelo has looked great as of late. I think Crawford wins via decision.
Let's go.
And I think he shows that he is one of the greatest and probably one of the most underappreciated boxers of the last decade.
Hell yeah.
Gabe Rosado leaned slightly toward Canelo, citing style advantages. He said Crawford's previous tests at lower weight make facing Canelo at 168 much harder.
But Madrimov did give Crawford problems. I favor Canelo, not by a lot, but I do favor him. I just think that, I think the Skull fight was just a bad style. And I think Canelo was like, why force the issue? You know what I mean? I'm up. This guy's running. I'm not going to take a chance. So I think that it was that kind of fight for Canelo. But Madrimov did give Crawford problems. You know what I'm saying? And where I felt like, damn, at 54, he gave you problems. 68 is different.
Kyrone Davis said preparation is key, calling the fight like a chess match. He would pick Canelo to win because of his strength at 168, though Crawford can succeed.
Have you been in there with Crawford?
Yeah.
So you've been in there with Crawford, you've been in there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience, but then you got Crawford, got great experience as well. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because just because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally like sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody could do it, it'll be Terrence Crawford.